Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nanny and the Moose. Today, we're going to discuss my top 10 tips for beating the lockdown blues at Christmas. I have studied a lot of different tips online from psychologists. We even have 2 or 3 therapists and counselors in the family who can tell us all about the blues and the loneliness that we all suffer during holidays. As a matter of fact, you all saw my little mini breakdown on Thanksgiving, and I've learned a lot about myself and about how I think you and I can handle this lockdown at Christmas. Good morning.
Morning.
On this beautiful sunny California warm morning. What are you eating?
Oh, oatmeal. That's a cold weather breakfast, but it's pretty darn good.
Nice and hot
Yeah,
with whipped cream in it.
Bananas.
You're styling in your Greek fisherman hat and your Irish tweed sweater.
Yeah.
All set for a little videoing?
Yep. Videoing in winter.
So be it in California.
Yeah, the California weather spooks you. 1 minute it's 70 and the next minute it's 40.
I know. What's happening with our birds?
I think they need to be fed.
I'll have to get Shannon down. She's our new bird feeder. And I notice pretty much everything has to be filled. You know, they say it's very important to feed the birds in the wintertime, more so than even in the summer. So we'll get her down. We're getting a lot of help from the kids this year, aren't we?
You sure are.
I know. Brendan put our lights up outside. I took a beautiful picture last night with the lights on outside. Wasn't that a great picture?
Yeah, but it was accidental.
Well, it was. I have to figure out how to do that with my fancy camera.
How to repeat it.
I know. It was, it was about 9 o'clock at night. All right, I got to get busy.
Yeah, just as soon have you watch me eat.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
You know, when you really think about it, Christmas is all about the birth of Jesus to begin with. And Christmas is for children. They've always said that, and that's where the magic is. When I see all my grandchildren and all my great-grandchildren enjoying the holidays, enjoying the anticipation of Santa Claus and happiness and joy and excitement, I realize that their little world really hasn't changed that much, not like ours. They're still going to have a wonderful Christmas with their families. They're still going to get their little gifts. They're going to shop maybe for little gifts online with mom and dad for brothers and sisters, which we always encouraged. And life is still going to be the same for them. Christmas carols and all the little Christmas shows, the Grinch Stole Christmas, and everything will be the same for them. But for us, that's where the difference is. I've really thought about this a lot since Thanksgiving, and I realized that the loneliness for me was that I had this great, big, wonderful family out there, and I was so used to all our traditions of being together on holidays, on birthdays, in between, hugging, kissing, and I realized that life will still be the same for all those little individual families. Colleen and Micah and the 3 children will still all be together on Christmas. Matthew and Cindy will be together with their children. Mikey and Sabrina will be together with their children. And it will be wonderful. They just won't have Nanny and Moose around. And you know what? That's okay. We'll Zoom and we'll visit. But in the meantime, we have to think about ourselves. Those of us who have families and won't be with them, and those of us who don't have families and might be alone on Christmas. We've got to figure out ways that we can deal with this lockdown. And it is a real lockdown. Things are bad out there, and I hope everyone is being very, very careful. Now, I've made a list of 10, and it probably could be a lot more, of things that I won't do and things that I will do. And they're not in any particular order, and they're things that I've gained from my soul and my heart, and things that possibly I've gained from the children and from studying. So let's begin. Now I have my notes here, so I will be glancing down from time to time because I really don't want to miss anything. And as I said, it's not in any particular order. And I do want to stress before anything else that gratitude is my number one thought right now. I am grateful for everything that I have. I'm not complaining about that by any means. I'm accepting and I'm adjusting my life from here on in. So, first of all, planning. That's my number one thing. I'm going to get together by Zoom, or we text a lot. We even talk on the phone a lot with all the children. And I'm going to discuss my plan, our plan. Lucy and I have decided how we're going to proceed for this holiday from here on in. And it's the beginning of December, the beginning of Advent, which is a preparation for the birth of Jesus, all these 4 weeks ahead. And this is how we're going to handle all this. The planning, we're going to let them all know what we intend to do, which is basically lock down, take care of ourselves. I've heard from so many of you about horrible things within your families and COVID. I hear about the things in the schools where children in the high schools and even younger children are coming down with this. I even have a situation of my own. Back east, my brother came down with COVID. And he's fine right now, thank God. But 3 weeks ago, it was a different story. And he has been so careful. He lost his wife 3 or 4 years ago. He's basically been isolated. He can't figure out exactly how it happened. So please be careful out there, everybody, until this vaccine takes hold and we can all be protected. So we're going to tell the kids, this is what we're going to do. There will be a few exceptions in that we might be able to do some drive-bys. The big thing that Moose and I are going to miss is our big Christmas Day total family of 53 of us. We gather together at Dub's house at 10 in the morning, and we spend most of the day all together. Everybody brings something to eat. We have these beautiful tables laden with every kind of food, from egg souffle and sausages down to the cinnabuns and we laugh, we hug, grandkids run around. We've always been able to do it outside because we have so many, and we have a game. Everybody brings a present, something so that it doesn't cost a lot of money, something from your home that you would like to give away. And it can be anything from a wine table to dishes to books to suitcases. We've had some wonderful, wonderful gifts. We put all this on a big, big table, And then we pick numbers, and the whole family goes one by one picking. We can steal only twice, and we just have a wonderful time with all this after we eat our meal. And then the children, it's usually from 10 or 12 down, pick a name of another child within the family, and they get a present for that one child. So it doesn't cost too awfully much money for the different families. That's the day that is our wonderful day. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we all prepare to leave, and we go to church, and everybody celebrates Mass together, or most of us, and then we go home. And all the families can be at home with their own children to prepare for Christmas, and they can go through the same wonderful rituals. So that's the day that probably will be the hardest for me, but we've decided on that day that we might take some drive-bys and visit a couple of the families. And that will fulfill my need of seeing them. We will have masks on. We probably might not even get out of the car, but we'll give any little presents that I've made or gotten, which is another one of my cut downs. And we'll just enjoy seeing them and throw kisses. That'll be the big one. Now on Christmas Day, we usually, the tradition, and this is where I'm in my mind scaling down on traditions, adjusting and accepting the fact that all our traditions of years and years will not be the same. For the past 20 years, since we've retired, we always get a call from Colleen when the children would wake up. Now the children are all in their teens, and when we moved here and retired, they were babies. Some of them weren't even born. And when the children wake up, Mike and Colleen keep them upstairs. And Moose and I get on our robes and our Christmas hats, and we go up there. This year we'll put our masks on because we are going to do this one tradition. We'll go up there, and we will sit down about 8 feet away from the Christmas tree. They have French doors near the Christmas tree, and being in California, they might be able to open up the French doors at either side, either end of the living room, and we'll be able to get fresh air. Moosey and I might even sit in the doorway or a little bit outside. Then the children are allowed to come downstairs, and we just sit and watch this wonderful ritual of children and moms and dads giving each other gifts, and it's wonderful. The dogs are running around, and it's great. So we still will do that. Colleen and Micah always make our favorite breakfast, bagels with salmon and cream cheese and capers and onions, and we will have a little breakfast and our favorite coffee, and then we will go home and rest up. After that, we usually will take a ride down to Matthew's and Cindy's, and we will do the same thing, sit in on a very, very carefully, not near anyone, not hugging, probably outside, and we will observe the family ritual with them. And then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll probably go home, and Moosey and I have decided we're going to be hooked on each other's hips. not like Thanksgiving. And what we'll do is we'll probably hop into bed and relax, probably still have our jammies on because we never do take them off on Christmas Day. And we will enjoy that day just talking, listening to music, watching Hallmark movies like I'm going to be doing for the next 26 days. I love my Hallmark. And maybe around 5 or 6 o'clock, we might have something to eat. Colleen and Mike said that whatever they do, they will bring something down. Nanny is not cooking Christmas Day. That was my big downfall on Thanksgiving. I totally overdid it, and it wasn't really necessary. So we will be receiving food from Micah and Colleen Christmas night. You'll see a lot of our nostalgia. I've put a lot of videos and photographs in of Christmas past, which memories are good. Nostalgia is great. So enjoy it and maybe get out some of your nostalgia and enjoy it too. How are you? Give Nanny a kiss. Yes. Are you here for a couple of days with Nanny and Moose? Yes, you have your nice bed. You're going to sleep with us? And I have goodies for you. And you don't have to put up with those 2 young whippersnappers, those 2 other doggies. They went on the trip with everybody. speaking of the decorations, I will choose my favorites. My favorites usually are, of course, the tree. And I'm speaking of indoor decorations. I always decorate the mantle with greens and florals, and sometimes I put my carolers up. I'll choose one mantle decoration and do that. I love putting up the Advent calendar. Putting a little treat in each one of the days. I have a beautiful wooden house that the children used to love to come down before they went to school every single day and see what treat that the elf left. In there, and oh, they believed, and it was so much fun. Sometimes Moosey would wake me up at 3 in the morning if we were awake, saying, "Oh, did you remember to put something in the Advent calendar?" And that was so fun. I would get up and rush in, make sure, and I always had a collections of little trinkets or cookies or candies or something. I think I will still do that, and maybe the elf will leave some things for Moosey. What do you think about that, Moose? Do you like that idea?
I didn't hear you.
My Advent calendar might be for you this year and not for little ones.
Okay.
Good.
I'll rush out and get the chocolate.
Oh, chocolate, of course. The other thing which is a must for me, and it's my creche, my Christmas creche with the Holy Family in a stable, and I have a wonderful collection of figurines and animals, and each year I usually pick up something. Last year I found this wonderful big camel, and so I will put that up because after all, that's what Christmas is all about, and that's a favorite. Outside, of course, the beautiful wreath on the door. Not real, but it's one that I've had for years and years. We did put up lights, and Brendan did this for us, our grandson Brendan, all around the garden this year, little twinkle lights on the railing. And I took a picture the other night that was so fascinating. I did it by accident, but it was that nighttime glow. Beautiful. So the little birdies get all night long, I leave the lights on, and the little birdies get a beautiful garden for Christmas too. Now, here's another one, and I don't know where we are, 4 or 5 here, but I have made a commitment that probably at least 3 nights a week for the next 4 weeks, Moosey and I are gonna hop in the car. You listening, Moose? And we are going to drive through different neighborhoods and enjoy all the lights. Right now, it seems people are really decorating early, and there are some beautiful, beautiful things that are out there that people have put on their front lawns. Very, very elaborate things. They say that light brings joy. And that's, I think, one of the most important things of the Christmas season. That's why we light up a Christmas tree. That's why we put lights on our house. That's why we put lights everywhere. Light brings us joy, and that's how Moose and I will be getting some joy this Christmas. So we're going to take those drives. That's another one of my tips that I've thought up in my head will help us. Of course, we talked about the planning, we talked about the trimming, accepting and addressing all of these things and discussing them with the families. One thing that I have just loved, and I always don't get to it because I can never find that one pink candle, but I love the tradition of the Advent candles. There are 4 weeks leading up to Advent, and it's all about the preparations for the birth of Jesus. That's how we prepare ourselves, how Jesus prepared himself. No, that one's not right. But that's, I was thinking of Easter.
That's going too far.
But I think I have found that pink candle and the purple candles. There's 4 candles. And each night, I'm going to have Moosey and I try and remember to read the Advent prayer. If you go online, you can find the prayers, little short prayers that you say each night to prepare yourself for Christmas. And it's a very heartwarming thing. And if it is your faith or you feel like you want to do something like that, I'm going to prepare. I have a little round brass wreath for 4 candles. I'm going to put some greens on it, and I'll just leave it out. You light 1 candle a week as you say your prayers. So that's another one. Let me just get my list here and see where we are. Oh, definitely watch Hallmark movies. Netflix, Hallmark, anything that has anything to do with Christmas. I wish Moose was still sitting out in the sunshine, but he's not. He endures it sometimes at night, but as often as I want to, especially when I take my time outs during the day, if I've been washing the kitchen floor or doing something else, and I'm exhausted, I go in, I lie on the bed, turn on Hallmark movies, and they're on 24 hours a day now. Hello. See my shirt? What does it say?
It sells Walmart.
No, Hallmark Christmas video watching. So ladies, get your shirts. When Moosey hops in bed with me, I'll probably have to get him a shirt too.
I won't wear it if it says Hallmark.
So watch your Hallmark movies. And this time I shed happy tears, and it's just so heartwarming. I don't know what they do, but I know they help a lot of people. So watch your Hallmark movies and tune into those old traditional movies that you can find on Netflix too. Now, Moose does like the old ones. The last 2 are pretty simple, and I think you've already known what it's going to be. Kick the guilt and concentrate on gratitude. We've talked a lot about gratitude. Think of all the things that we're grateful for and all the children and the families that are out there that will still be there next Christmas, where we'll hopefully all be together and we'll be able to do all these things that we can't do this year. So focus on the children and all the happiness that they will have. And keep yourselves busy, occupied mentally. Read your books, watch your TV, do a little cooking, a little knitting, but don't exhaust yourself. Follow some of my tips. I've learned a lot from Thanksgiving, and I think we'll all be happier and be able to handle these blues and beat the lockdown Christmas. The last thing that I forgot to tell you was grab a pet and don't forget to give it lots of love, because these pets definitely are going to help you with all of your lockdown blues. And Shamu is one of them. Yes, you are. So thank you all for watching. I hope that you spend these several weeks riding around, looking at the lights, enjoying and relaxing your day, and definitely giving yourself some slack. So be like us, enjoy, feel the gratitude. I love you all. God bless us all.